Stop designing with the hopes that the client likes your design. Nail it the first time. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 steps you can take to make more money with more clients more often. These 3 simple steps allowed me to go from struggling to soaring as a designer with happy clients who paid me more for the same kind of work. Hey everybody, I'm Rob Genovese with Unleash My Beast brand, where I help you how to become a brander and build a brand. I want to thank everybody in the subscriber community for being a part of what we're achieving. If you're not yet a subscriber, go ahead, take a second and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you don't miss a single video. New videos come out every Tuesday and Friday. See, the problem is design is subjective. What you're doing is you're taking your style, your personality of design, and you're saying, here, Mr. Client, I hope you like this. If you don't worry, I'll make a different design. You don't like that one? Well, I'll make still another design. In fact, let me do several designs and you pick the best one. You know what? Let me do 50. That way I'm sure that you will find a design you will like. You don't like it? No? Okay, let me change the one you do like and take a little bit of the one. Are you getting the idea here? It starts to become this downhill spiral of iteration after iteration after iteration in order to please the client. But the problem is the client's looking for something he likes, and he always thinks there's something better out there, that there's always another design that's really going to send him to the moon. How many times have you heard this? I'll know it when I see it. Or it just doesn't resonate with me. Or it doesn't hit me quite right. You know, when I heard these, it just made me cringe because I knew they had no idea what they wanted to see. And what was I going to do? Kind of do design after design in the hopes that maybe they might like the next one? That's really frustrating and it's really not profitable. See, the thing is, clients have been conditioned to look at design and find the one they like and then pick it. But they're wrong. That's not what they're supposed to do. What they're supposed to do is trust you, the designer, as to how you're going to solve their problem and then let you solve it through design. So what you want to do is you want to take a 3-step process. Number 1, identify. Number 2, research. And number 3, design to appeal. The first one, identify, is this. You want to identify who your client's client is. In other words, there's an end user to your client's product or service. That end user should be your client. That's who you should be thinking about. Once you identify who they are, their demographics, where they shop, where they live, how much money they make, what their opinions are, what their attitudes, beliefs, and values, also known as demographics and psychographics, then you can determine exactly what's going to appeal to them and design accordingly. So that identification process is key. You have to identify who your client's client is. The next step, number 2, is research. Well, once you identify that ideal client, well, then you've got to research all the things I just talked about before. You really want to get in depth here. You want to find out who this client is. You want to ask your client, right? That is the provider of the service or the product. You want to ask them about happy clients, who they are, what made them happy, what made them buy again. You want to really get to know who that end user is. You've got to do the research here. And look, great information can come from your client, but you've also got to go online and you got to do research yourself and find out who these people are really, who they are. Get a good picture of them. Get a name in your head. Get a description. It's like a missing persons report. You want to get a picture down in your mind so you knew exactly who you're talking to. That's the research. Hey, if this is making sense, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you don't miss a single video. And number 3, once you've done all this research, so first, number 1, you've identified. Number 2, you've researched. Number 3, this is the part we all want to get to as designers, right? You want to design, but now you're taking a little different approach. You're designing to appeal to the end user. Now that you know who they are, what they look like, what they like, what they expect, you can now design to appeal to them in order to attract them. The reason this works beautifully is not only is it going to attract them, but in your client's eyes, you are no longer designing pretty things. Now you are actually taking a strategic approach. You are looking what the problem is and you're providing a solution through design. So now when you present the designs to your client to choose, then you still may do 1 or 2 or 3, Now, I usually, by this point, I've gotten a process down where I only really design one, maybe two. They're both accurate, they're both solving the problem, that my client really only has to choose one or the other. They both work, they're both winners. They might have a little bit different personality to them, but in essence, they're at the same at their core. But now when your client looks at them and you've explained all this and he knows you've done your research, well, then what he's going to do is he's going to look at these in a little different light. Now he's not necessarily looking for whether or not does he like the design because he thinks that's what achieves. Now he's looking at it from a standpoint of one of these solves the problem. Actually, both of these solve the problem. Which one do I prefer? Now we're getting to the end stages where it's pretty much he chooses one and it's off to the races. You're not going to do 50 designs. You're not going to do 73 iterations of the 3 designs. You're only going to do a couple of designs, both hit the mark, but he's going to choose which one he prefers, and this is where you give him a little stake in the game where he gets to give his input. But he never gives his input on the strategic part because that's done with the research already. He knows you're solving a problem. And hey, if you got value out of this, go ahead, give it a like, pop the comments and questions below. I'd love to hear from you. So that's the 3 ways you can take an approach to making more money with graphic design. Remember, that's first identify, number 2 research, and number 3 design to appeal. Check out these other videos for more insights on how to make more money with graphic design through the strategic approach. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.